Oh shit, he got me. Oh no, he didn't get me. I gotta get this girl
Oh, they can
some
actually
tickets.
catch you like GTA?
Yeah, because I gotta give this girl some tickets. I did it. Get the tickets to your skate buddy. It's just weird missions throughout the whole thing.
Man, it's been forever since I played this.
Yeah, it's odd playing it now because I still have the muscle memory. Like, I don't know, I have the muscle memory for so much, and
Dude, that's amazing.
uh,
Dude, you're going. Holy
I'm gonna
shit.
see how long I can hold it. Jesus.
It gets harder and harder, right, as it
Yeah.
keeps going?
Yeah, this game, I don't know. I don't think they'll ever be able to reboot it with the I don't know, the skill and grace that the first 3 had. Like, there's a lot. Like, what's interesting about this shit is in the first few games you could get videos afterwards. After you beat it, you would get like videos of skater bales and shit, or like like a Tony Hawk specific video, and then afterwards you would get videos where you would see the developers of Neversoft like skating and learning how to skate. And at first it's like you see these like sort of like 40-year-old dads, you know, in like tiny shorts trying to skate, but by like this one or the 4th one, they got real good, man. You see these guys, like, you see the progression as skaters because they were
And the games are getting better.
Yeah, because they were involved in the world and of skateboarding so much that some of them actually got like real good by the end of it.
That's
and you're
cool.
like, oh shit, Joel Jewett, the guy that's like, I don't know, just the head CEO of this company, big beard, fucking 45 years old, doing like a double kickflip.
The people who made like Cooking Mama are like now master chefs or something.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I
the
mean?
GTA guys, they know exactly
They know how to like
get away with
from the
lurid
cops.
crimes. But this game, dude, I was thinking that this era and the Jackass era paved the way to kind of like Jackass in general. It sort of opened up the floodgates in a good way and a bad way for people to be like, I'm just a regular guy with a group of pals, and we can make this work. Kind of like what this is now, like you getting together with friends and playing video games or doing a podcast. It's like, along with the internet, shows like Jackass and all the ones that aped it afterwards, like Dirty Sanchez and the whatever brothers, the Jonasons or something. I think it paved the way for a lot of stuff now, like, I don't know, Odd Future and Tyler the Creator, and just these groups of people that are just like don't belong anywhere, and just like
it's like the band thing, right? Like that's obviously they're not playing music, but there's that one common place they have where they decide to fucking do something about it and sort of pull their resources together. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's always the best ones too, like, because you hear stories about like certain things like that were fabricated, that were sort of like overly calculated, and and it works, you know, it makes money, but then the really cool shit is like, and that's why they're rare, because people are people. And
are you saying nowadays there's fake YouTube personalities? Like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that.
I mean, I'm even saying back in the day, back in when Jackass was around, like, you look at like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, like that was all calculated by some fat producer somewhere.
Yeah, that guy.
I mean? But like, yeah, it's always the organic stuff that is the most fragile, but sometimes like really good.
Yeah, totally.
Because people, if somebody don't feel like it, that's it. You know, if somebody has a beef with someone, that's it. There's no contract, or there's no. I guess at some point there is, once they get big enough.
Yeah, it must be hard to nowadays to sort of find that sort of melting pot of cool people, because it's like people aren't into shit for long enough for you to like find them, it feels like, anymore. It's,
right.
It's like, oh, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm on to like, I'm doing hip hop now, or like I'm starting a DJ thing. I don't know.
Do you think it's related to just the way people consume media now? Do you think it's like
definitely.
You know, I was having a funny thought today about how like 20, 30 years ago, everybody thought that the future was going to be like sensory overload because of 30 by 30 foot screens all over the city. But the irony is that like that has happened, except the screens are like
right
this
in front
big.
of your
They're
face
tiny.
now.
They're like 3x4 or even smaller than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's the same concept, except not on the side of a building, which I thought is like, so it did come true in a sense, but not the way we expected, I guess.
Yeah, it's now in front of our eyeballs with the VR and stuff.
Which is worse, arguably worse, because like it's so convenient versus like, you know.
Yeah, the only thing I'm excited for as concerning the future and all that is CRISPR and gene splicing and putting stem cells into anywhere I want.
Dude, I fucking want stem cells.
Yeah, we'll have indestructible backs. We'll be able to just bench press so much shit. You'll just see, dude. I want that. I want some sort of nanobots that go into my body and they allow me to eat whatever the fuck I want, and I don't get fat. So I could just be eating double quarter pounders every single day.
Dude,
and not
I would
give a
love
shit.
that, dude. Like, yeah, they just suck out the nutrients that are the most important ones, and then they flush away like the enriched wheat flour and the sugar and like the corn syrup.
Yeah.
Just obliterate that shit, right?
Yeah, anything, like it just hunts it down, and whatever's bad, it turns all the high fructose corn syrup, it transposes it into just
tomatoes,
some creatine for your body, and then suddenly
it just turns everything into tomatoes.
Just everything becomes tomatoes that make you buff somehow.
Yeah, like yes, exactly.
Dude, in the future, everyone's gonna have like 20-inch dicks. Everyone's gonna have. It's crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait for that shit.
I've heard that.
Shit, where did the guy go?
We talked about this on the last time we recorded about how like once a wiener gets too big, it's kind of
wiener.
It starts to it's the law of diminishing returns. Where like girls don't want to fuck a dick once it's a certain size because it's actually painful.
Yeah, like it's like a novelty thing, and you don't want to be the circus freak,
Right. Like, what if you have like the world's biggest dick and you just want to have the most long-term steady relationship ever? Like, what a curse.
Yeah, dude, I had a black friend that would he would come home like bummed out because he'd just been on a date and they'd been having sex and the girl just couldn't keep going because her fucking rib cage was just her rib cage was just fucked up. It was internally bruised and shit because the guy was just a man beast. He was like Motaro from Mortal Kombat or some shit. So I got to see like his pain of like I really like this girl, man, but she's not answering my calls anymore because it's like he's fucking hurting her every time. And it's like, what do? I guess you just get good at being a good conversationalist with girls afterwards. Like, I have a big dick, but don't worry about that. We're not gonna.
Like, how do you rake up for that? I feel like you'd have to wear a little strap on for her sake. But then when it came around time for having kids, they would just have to like, get a doctor or something.
Yeah, I think if a girl loves you enough,
she'll take a dick.
Yeah,
she'll take a big dick.
Like at least under certain circumstances, maybe we can sort of put some icy hot on there and just like to prepare it to.
Right.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I that's all the stuff that like I wish I had a manual like for all these questions I had when I was like 12, like about what was important and what wasn't important, You ever think it'd be great to go back to high school knowing everything you know
yes,
now?
I would tell myself so many. Dude, I gave up so many opportunities with girls just because of tiny things that don't matter anymore.
Totally. No, I cock-blocked myself so many times over the stupidest shit, dude.
Yeah, you don't know back in the day. Like, right now as an adult, I find that it's so hard to date because now women, it's kind of like they're adults too and they work, and when you go out on a date, we're both sacrificing personal important time. But when back in the day you were young and dumb and time didn't matter and you could be an idiot and the girls didn't know any better.
Right.
Like they didn't have much standards in the sense of like, I'm looking for a responsible adult that isn't gonna, not wanna have kids by the time or whatever.
Right.
Like, it was just all fun and games, and I should have taken so much more advantage of that shit.
Right. Well, because were you thinking you were worried that the girl would want more than that? Because I worried about that sometimes. Like, I didn't want a girl to, like, get super attached, you know what I mean?
I had a shitty friend that would always psych me out because no matter what it was about a girl, he would notice it, and then I would notice it. Like, I'd be like, oh, she's so cool, and like we like hanging out, and it's like, have you ever noticed her ankles a little bit chafed? And I'm like, the ankles, and then it's like, oh, that's true, and then it's like I couldn't not look at the ankles. So I wish back in the day I would go back and tell myself, like, this guy is gonna end up being just some loser that works at a fucking what's it called, the Walmart of El Salvador. So don't listen to. He's telling you these things because he's unsatisfied in life, and it's his way of like diffusing some of his self-hatred. Don't worry about it. Go out on a date with the angular ankle girl. That's what I would tell myself, dude. So many regrets.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I had another in the same area of like not getting any, where it's like I was also just super dense about stuff. Where like I would have flashbacks sometimes of conversations I'd have with a girl. I was like, oh, like she actually was interested, but I just didn't understand the signals that girls would send. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's also trial by error. Like, good lord, dude. Okay, get this. I remember once I was waiting for the release of Half-Life 2, right? And it was gonna come out at midnight, and I was sitting in Waco, Texas, in the dorm room, and there was a girl in there hanging out on a Friday night with me, and me staring at my Steam app, just waiting for the fucking thing to download. And she's just like, la 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 la. I'm like, oh, I cannot wait. and fucking get this, man. So fucking it finally is midnight, and I'm like, oh, here we go, go time. And then I find out that the release date was Pacific time. It's like, shit. So I'm like, I look over, I'm like, oh, guess what? It looks like it's not till 2, huh? That's weird. So anyways, I just end up like waiting another 2 hours, like at my computer, and I guess talking to her. I don't remember exactly what happened, but she waits it out with me. She fucking waits it out with me till like 2 a.m. We're still friends. She's really cool. But like, and then as soon as the game downloads, I'm like, all right, well, I gotta play now. It's like, you gotta go. I gotta play Half-Life 2. And like, but I was fucking serious. Like, I wanted to play this game. This was like Half-Life 1, like, was a milestone for my gaming, you know what I mean? So, dude,
I would go back in time and just tear that shit up, man.
I know,
I would
man.
tear so much shit up, dude. It's so funny that you're like, I can't wait. You got a girl in his fucking room.
And I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
video games.
Man. But that's the thing. It's like no one ever tells you these things because I don't know. In my case, I had two types of friends. The ones that I could be nerdy with, and the ones that were like that had to grow up when they were like 10 or something. So I'd be like 11 or 12, and I would go to the movies with a group of people, and it included girls. And one of my friends would be like, "So did you like finger her?" And it's like, I don't fucking know what that is, dude. You're already like so much ahead of us,
right.
Because your parents aren't around to watch over you, so you're like,
yeah, you're going crazy.
You're already in that life. So I would get advice from those guys that I didn't understand,
right?
And that
no, that would happen, and that's always the worst people to get advice from.
Yeah,
like a lot of it was like not valid or safe or whatever. Yeah,
they'd give you these tricks that was not like, they didn't work at all. Like, I don't know, if you put some honey on your tongue and then like do a figure 8 down there, and it's just like all this shit, like this nonsense passed down from the ignorant older brother that didn't know when he was telling his younger brother, who then tells me who is his friend and shit.
I remember people saying like, oh, you just drink milk, you get bigger loads, and like I was young. I mean, I was young, but I also was like, I understood enough of how the human digestive system worked, where I was like, that's fucking bullshit, dude. Like, what are you talking about? It was like, no, it's true. Do it. Just fucking try
bigger
it.
Loads.
You get bigger. It's just like, because milk is white. I'm like, yeah, it's not. That's not how it works, dude.
Dude, I had a friend who would call me every single day and ask me if I had masturbated, and because I was
just checking in on you,
and because I was at an age where I would masturbate every single day, It was like I would say
just
yes.
once a day. Come on.
Well, yeah, I guess it was like depending on if I had baseball practice later or not. But I would say yes, and then he would ask me what to, and then I would have to give him like the link and the website to where, and then like one time I always thought it was fine, but one time a friend of mine was over and hanging out, and he picked up the phone and he heard that happening, and then suddenly he told the whole school, and like that kid was ostracized afterwards, and I was like, fuck, I try to keep your weird secret of you asking me, but this other guy, he ratted you out, man. I'm so sorry, but by the way, this is what I was masturbating today, so we'll talk later. Like, I masturbated to this.
So honest. No, I remember once, like, I was really young, and I was with a buddy, and he's like, you ever jerked off? I'm like, no. And he's like, you should try it right now. I'm like,
right this instant.
I mean, I guess I could give it a go. And so I went to the bathroom, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work, because all I'm doing is thinking about my friend in the other room waiting for me to jerk off. So like, I just walked out. I was like, I can't do this, dude. This is fucking, I can't do this.
I used to go through. I started jacking off, and nothing would come out at first. It was just like
shooting blanks.
Yeah, shooting blanks, just like air.
Did you like get fucking freaked out when it finally like?
It felt good. Oh yeah, when it finally happened, I was like, oh, so this is what like, oh, this is messy. I got to do something about this shit because I'd gotten used to. It was back in the day when instead of grabbing it like a man, you would sort of cup it with your fingers. Like I can't like describe it's like that.
It's like you're pinching it, right? Like,
yeah, because you're pinching it.
You're like a chimp.
Yeah, and nothing would come out. Like, oh man, how times have changed since then.
Man, the shit you know now, man.
Yeah.
No, it's funny.
I think everyone used to chimp it. I don't know what the.
Yeah, I think that's like the primate in us. Just the default like penis grasp is like is very chimp-like.
Yeah, it's kind of like when your pants are too tight and you pull it off of the.
Right. When you're readjusting, it's the same. It's the same form.
Same motion.
Totally. maybe that's still the best way. I don't know.
I've seen some porns where the guys never grew out of that phase, and that's how they're like blowing loads into the girl's face, but doing it with the old school, like 8-year-old, 12-year-old method or whatever.
Oh my god. No, I remember maybe like 3 years ago, I found out that there was like a sperm bank, right, not too far from where I live, and they were like, if you go in there, you get like $100 a week or something.
Easy money.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's all you got to do? So I go in there and I fill out the questionnaire and I go through the interview process, and it was kind of weird. Like I go in there and I'm trying to, being professional about it, because obviously it'd be nice to be able to jerk off and make money. But the lady's like, to
live the dream.
Live the dream, the American dream, man. And the lady's like, she's sitting there like the most like calm cucumber, like very poker face about the interview, or about the the interview process and everything. And I'm just like. And I'm trying really hard not to crack jokes because I figured like that would be really inappropriate for me to go there and so any little thing I would be like haha like a little hint, and she just never budged. She was just like stone cold. But anyway, so I guess I got the pass, right? And I went to like the designated area for that. And it was really interesting because it was like this room like sectioned off, which I already felt weird about because knowing how many guys have been in there already, and jerked off in this very room, right?
Yeah.
So I had that weird weight on my head about that. And then they lined the walls with like a bunch of like nude women, but it was a lot of like lesbian stuff. And like I was like, what if I don't like lesbian stuff? What if I'm into like a certain other kind of thing? You know what I mean? I was like, it was a very specific category.
What if I'm an ass to mouth sort of gentleman?
Right, exactly. It was one category from the porn website versus like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I ended up having like pull my phone out and be like, well, this will do, because I just ignored all the lesbian porn on the wall. And yeah, but it was such a weird experience. I was like, man, I don't know if I don't think I'm good.
Is it a viable lifestyle? Like, how much do you get paid per load?
Well, that's what I mean. It was like $100 a week. And I was like, but there was these stipulations about like how you couldn't have sex a couple days before you went in. Oh. And I was like, well, I had a pretty, I had a girlfriend at the time. And I was like, I can't just tell, hey, babe, like, I'm about to go jerk off in a doctor's office in 2 days, so I know you're horny, but sorry.
Yeah, I'm saving up my loads.
Right. So it was like it was kind of a weird but interesting experience.
You could cheat the system and drink a ton of milk before you go and get a whole bunch of money. Just pounds of loadage, according to your friend.
Did it stop recording right now?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe it stops after an hour. Hey guys, looks like the capture software stopped working, but we just want to say a quick goodbye and again a very heartfelt thank you to my friend Andy for being here and sharing his more of a little bit of his life with everybody. Yeah, it's always good.
Got to talk about my dick a little bit this time.
Yeah, it got really good at the end right there. So we'll be sure to include that, even though we may not have footage to go over the jerk off story. So
yeah, it's always cool. Thanks for having me.
For sure, man. All right, see you guys.